Dustin Weddle with Inside the Artist Studio Apartment. Hey, this is Dustin Weddle with Inside the Artist Studio Apartment. Today we are here in Indianapolis, Indiana at Miss Felicia Leavesley's apartment, where we're going to take a look into her life and how she lives and what she does with her art. Here we go. Hey, how's it going?
It's going. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm ready to show.
Ready to show? Okay, all right, here we go. All right. Leavesley is right. There are a lot of leaves in here.
Yeah. I really like plants.
I have plants, but they're plastic.
Nice. Easier to alive.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, these kind of need watered, I think.
Oh, yeah. I let those go a little bit.
All right, so what is your art, Felicia?
I'm not really like an artist. I just kind of do a lot of art.
I'd say that's an artist.
Yeah, I just like to make anything. I draw a lot. Like I draw every day. I'm in the process of
cool.
putting this stuff back up on the walls. And I do ceramics. I do a little bit of woodworking. I like make dolls and weird just quilts. Just kind of anything whatever tickles my fancy.
Awesome. That sounds great. Well, why don't you walk us through some of it? Let's start with some of this. What's going on here?
Donald came by, who is my neighbor, and said he wanted to buy something, so I was pulling stuff out for him to look at because he's like in a chair, so I like pull stuff out off the walls. So I have to put all this back up on the walls, but this is just all like brain stuff that kind of came out over the past. I had like a big demon phase. I had a bird head phase.
Like a phase, like you were just into bird heads for a while?
I was just into like people with like the heads of birds, and like I've got like 4 more like bird people pieces around.
Right on, like Birdman.
But like bird woman. I don't ever
Bird woman.
I don't ever draw or paint men.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's see your clay stuff.
Let's see. I only have a couple of pieces right now, but I just broke one yesterday, but this is a clay, they're both just nudes again, no men. This is like a snake vertebra and like some feathers and a little like hand down there and then this one is kind of like, you can see inside of it, so because she broke in the kiln.
Okay.
So it's kind of like severed, exposed.
Right.
Stuff.
All right, explain this one to me. Is there meaning to the certain parts that are going on with this? Because this is interesting.
Well, I kind of made this first just as a study, and then this was all just stuff I had, and of course there's this orifice here, and I was like, and these are all pens.
Oh, cool.
So they're like pens that are also quills, and then stuff just kind of went together. I don't know, I didn't have a plan for it, but it's kind of got this like, now it's got this kind of like decaying Mother Nature feel, which I like.
Right. I need one of those for work so people stop stealing my pens.
Right, just disguise them.
Yeah.
And then this one was kind of a happy accident too, where like, again, I said it broke and I couldn't put it back together, so I was like, I'll just make a little spine and...
Okay.
Yeah.
Right on. So, why again did you say you didn't feel like you were an artist?
Well, I just feel like, I mean, like artists are constantly like making art and like making money off of their art.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Also that.
Being whiny.
Yeah. And I don't like, it's not my main source of income or like even a tertiary source of income, so.
Okay.
So I guess just kind of like, I like weird productivity mindset of like, to be an artist you have to be productive, but I know it's not true.
Sure.
I know your definition is a little more apt.
Well, I mean, I think that there are people who make a living out of art, but I also think that art isn't necessarily something that you have to make a living with.
Right.
An artist is a creative person who expresses themselves through the actions that they make. So, yeah, I would definitely 100% consider you an artist.
Thank you.
Okay, so it looks like you paint as well.
Yeah, I do paint a little bit. This is like my third or fourth oil painting. My neighbor Brian, whom I really respect, gave me a lot of his paints because he was like, I'm done with oil painting forever. So I just got a bunch of new paints, and I'm trying to do like a limited color palette with this, so I'm only using like 2 yellows, a brown, and like the purple color. Oh, and like a blue. So
Okay.
It's like a fun kind of
Cool.
experiment.
Yeah, so you're like really limiting yourself, but creating something that looks really detailed, only
Yeah.
using a couple different colors.
And it's
That's
like,
really cool.
I can't make it muddy. I can't make it. It's got to be bright because I only have those few colors. Whereas if you use the whole spectrum, then things can get so dull and like washed up real quick.
Right, right. Nice.
Yeah.
Do you play?
Um.
Or is that where you just clean your brushes?
Yeah, that's like, my cat likes to turn this on and make the little preset songs go. No, my friend Brian gave me this too. I play more guitar. I can like sight read piano music and whatnot, but my friend Hannah comes over and she plays the keys and we jam, so I have it for that too.
Okay, cool. What kind of guitar do you have?
I have an Epiphone Les Paul and just like a run-of-the-mill like beginner acoustic.
Right on, right on.
So yeah.
What is going on
With that?
with this thing? What?
You want to touch it? It's my one of my other pets. It's soft.
Oh
it's
my!
like fluffy.
I don't know if I want to touch
I think
it.
you should get in there. It's great. It's a great surprise.
What in the world?
So it's a cactus. Yeah.
It's not the kind of cactus I've
No,
experienced
it's not like
in the
his bad
past.
boy, yeah. But yeah, he's really nice and soft.
That is really cool.
Yeah, I got a lot of love for that one.
How is this growing in here?
This
Doesn't
one?
it have to be like super hot for these things to grow?
No, I got this at IKEA for like $10.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is it real?
Yeah, it's real. They don't need a lot, and you can see they've cut the tops off.
Oh,
It,
okay.
like, stunts the growth in a way that bees. I don't really know, but I know that they do this to make them more livable inside. It's called a corn plant.
All right, right on. Well, let's move this direction. What kind of things do you like to read?
We got some books.
Yeah.
Hi, baby. This is my cat, Astro, by the way. Come here. He's my boy.
What's his name?
Astro, and he's got a big...
Astro. Hello, Astro.
A smooch on him. Did you hate that?
Might have to turn up the volume for this.
He's got a smooch on his face. That's what that is.
Very, very stylish cat.
Very stylish. I've read a lot of stuff that people have given to me. I've read most of this. There's like some books on like the beginnings of American democracy, some like Arabic books, a lot of books about horses. I am a certified horse girl.
Okay.
A lot of kids books. I just got the biography of Malcolm X. I'm pretty stoked on that. This is a cool art book. This is Ways of Seeing by John Berger. It's also like a PBS series. It's just all about how people process images.
Oh, cool.
And like what's going through your mind, like when you classify things, because everyone has their own aesthetic of things that they like to look at, and how that develops psychologically.
Right, right. That is interesting. I would be interested in checking that out.
Yeah, it's a PBS series. It's pretty good.
Right on.
I'm trying to think what else I got. This is something I don't ever show people.
I'm guessing this is all organized alphabetically.
Yeah, from A to bullshit. So, this is just like my box of images, which is kind of cool. It's just like pictures that I like. And it's kind of like intimate. Like I said, I don't really show people it, but since you guys are like in here and curious, it's just like things that I felt like weirdly drawn to aesthetically over the years. Like this is like a McDonald's poster of puppies, and I don't know. And
I
then it's
actually-
just, like words, and there's some weird chickens and like some PAO like stuff from Japan.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
cool.
awesome. Yeah, I actually think that's really cool. It's like, surround yourself with the things that you want.
Yeah, and I like
And they'll
look
come
for
to you.
when I'm sad, and like they always just make me feel good. I
Awesome.
don't know. It's just weird little things.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
What's
I
the
made
story?
those.
Did you
I
really?
made those two. That one's from Japan, actually.
Nice.
That was the first one I made. That one was the second one that I made.
Let's check those out.
Yeah.
I like that. I
That's
don't.
a speaker I got at Goodwill. This is, I'll show you, like, this is all my weird stuff. This is chamomile tea. Sometimes I smoke this, and it kind of makes me feel like you took a Xanax.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I have pretty severe anxiety, so I'll try anything once when it comes to diminishing that. Gave myself a tattoo last night. That's what this stuff's from. And then I was working on those today. Got some kids' books from the library because I was just teaching a class on ancient Greece to children. So that was cool.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So do you like professionally teach Greece, or just like is it something you do on the side that it's like tutoring or something like that? Or
Well, it's an art class.
stuff
so,
on your
what is it?
you black stuff.
Oh, it's probably like this artist problems. This is what happens to you.
You look like me.
Can I go into the bathroom and wash
You are totally fine. I just, I thought you were digging my mustache, so.
This is my kitchen. I also made this bag. It's like a purse. It's like made out of a belt and like a vest and some couch upholstery.
Ah!
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I had to make that same noise as you. Recycling that doesn't get taken out, trash that doesn't get taken out. This is a pull-up bar that I don't do pull-ups on. I don't do
like
my
your
dishes
door.
very well. But this is kind of a cool collage wall that I'm really into.
Right on.
Eat your vegetables, they always remind me. I'm gonna get a tattoo of this soon. And then this is all stuff that my students have made for me.
Oh, cool.
Which is really, and this is my preschool class that I used to teach. And they made me this card last week. So you are the best art teacher ever.
That is
And
awesome.
they're like all this notes for 8-year-olds. Yeah.
So what grade do you teach?
Like 7 to 11. Like I teach a mixed age group.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah. And then
All right, what do you eat?
I eat a lot. Food is one of the few things that I'll like spend money on. I eat a lot of chocolate. I eat a lot of nuts. I eat a lot of vegetables.
Yeah, I see a lot of tomato sauce and Nutella.
Yeah, those are the staples. Yeah, those are. I mean, this pretty much the staple. Nutella or no tomato sauce on a good day.
Right on. All right, what do we got in here?
In here, ooh, shoot. Okay, well, this is a picture. Well, no, there's stuff here, but then. Okay, that's not really important.
Oh, you left one of your plants in there.
Oh no, I was gonna make like vegetable stock out of this.
Oh, I thought it was from over there.
Oh,
Sorry.
Yeah. I can see the mistake, but no, you can like save all your like old veggies and like boil them down and make like vegetable stock out of them.
Really?
To like, replace this
I did
chicken
not
broth.
know that. The only thing I know how to make are Hot Pockets.
Oh, so good though. If you could only make one thing. I'm really into pickles.
Awesome.
And
They are good. What is that?
This?
What's that right there? That
This?
brain stuff.
It's like a smoothie. It's like a raspberry chocolate smoothie, starring one of the staples.
Okay.
Nutella, yeah. There's a whole loaf of moldy bread.
Awesome. Does that go with the Nutella as well?
Yeah, you dip it, you dunk it.
Okay.
And then bacon. I eat a lot
The
of
best.
Bacon.
Good. Good. That's good to hear.
I eat a lot of bacon and I eat a lot of veggies. And that's pretty much that.
All right. Last but not least, let's see what we got going on here.
This is where I sleep and have sex on the off occasion. I do a lot in my bed. It's like I work on my computer. I do art. There's more plants in here. I kind of like got really high and had to diffuse the light, so I put all those red things up there like a couple nights ago.
I really like that. I think that looks really cool.
And then some more art that I've done and some pictures and yeah, here goes with the bird thing, the bird head phase. It's part of the bird head phase.
Right. Right.
But yeah,
Birdman.
it's really cozy take a lot of meds. Yeah, pretty ill. So that's the inner sanctum.
All right. So, Felicia, are you from Indianapolis? Where are you originally from?
I'm originally from Cincinnati, and then my parents lived on the north side of Indy, and then I moved here after I moved out.
Okay.
I lived in Bloomington for a little bit when I went to school there, but...
So, tell me a little bit about your parents. What do they do, or what did they do?
My dad is a pharmaceutical molecular engineer.
Awesome.
So he basically engineers molecules, and my mom is a mom. I don't know. She likes to think she's something, but I hope she doesn't see this. Sorry. She doesn't do anything. But she's an artist.
It's okay, Mom. It's just a show.
Yeah, she's an artist. Yeah.
Right on.
Too.
Right on. So what kind of support do you receive from them? Do you receive any support, or do they encourage you?
I do receive support, but not encouragement. They've always encouraged me to be on disability because I've had pretty debilitating issues with mental health. But they can support me, so they kind of feel like they have to. But I work 4 or 5 jobs, so they don't. If I have to fix my, I probably worked 6 different jobs in the past year, but if I have to fix my car or something big comes up.
Oh goodness! Right.
Yeah, I can lean on them for that, which is really nice. I appreciate that.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. But they're not very encouraging. They're very much like, your whole life you're not going to be, you're going to be on
That's
disability.
awful. That sucks.
Yeah.
That's not
good.
cool. We should all be encouraged to do what we love doing.
Mm-hmm.
How early did you decide that this is what you needed to do? How early did you come to the conclusion that you wanted to pursue art?
I guess I didn't really think about wanting to pursue art until I guess this year or a couple of years ago. Because I've never really taken any art classes. I've just kind of always been lucky with friends that had materials, and I grew up around my mom painting and stuff, but it was always just kind of a hobby. And just this year I'm kind of getting to the point where wow, I really feel like I'm not going to be okay if I'm not doing this.
Right.
So yeah,
that's understandable, because a lot of times as an artist you don't feel like you can do it, you feel like you have to do it. It's pretty much ingrained into you. So no, I definitely understand. Understand.
Yeah, if it was something that I could do other things, I'd probably be doing better doing other things, but I can't.
Right. I think a lot of artists understand that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So, you spoke about your friends, which I believe as an artist, a lot of us learn a lot more from our peers than we do in technical schooling. But did you have some sort of mentor or someone to kind of guide you through some of these things? As you were learning, who were some of your people that kind of helped you through as you were learning?
I wouldn't say I have a mentor in terms of someone who taught me how to do things, but definitely in terms of encouraging me that I could do this and I should do this, and that it's okay for your art to not look a certain way, or it's okay that your art doesn't have to be consumed. I had a teacher in 8th grade, and I think I was really struggling trying to make art that I thought had to be happy or good or somehow aesthetically appealing, but that was at such dissonance with what was inside of me at the time. I was 13 and just really sad all the time and had no friends. So it's just and he encouraged me to just be hey, I'm not gonna grade you poorly in 8th grade art class if you do something that's not pretty, because I think he knew that, and that stuck with me for a really long time.
So you were just speaking about your art teacher and your experience in art in school. Where did you fit in high school?
I was actually not in high school. I was hospitalized for catatonic depression for most of high school. So I don't remember most of high school, actually.
I can understand.
Yeah, that's kind of a weird answer, but that's...
No, it's okay. I personally can understand that.
Yeah.
So, No, I'm right there with you. I understand.
But I've got great meds and stuff now, and I don't...
Amen. Me too.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
right on.
Sorry, we just had a little moment. It's part of being an artist.
Right. So, okay, so let's say before that.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, did you have friends, were you already into art? Did you have friends who expected you to become more of an artist or anything like that?
Like in the early years?
Yeah.
I guess I was always like, I mean, all kids do art, but I think I was the kid that just kept doing art. Because I think you get to a certain point and you're like, well, if I'm not good at it, I shouldn't be doing it. And then everyone stops.
Right.
And I think
right.
I wanted to be good, and I, you know, socially I always felt like either older than the other kids or like not interested by other kids. And so a lot of time I was in my, you know, making fantasy worlds, like on my notebook, or like, so everyone would kind of be like, oh, can you draw me a picture of me and my cat, or like draw me as an anime girl, and like people would give me like $1 to do that in middle school.
Oh right, there you go.
I guess
yeah,
that kind of
yeah, for sure. I guess that would answer that for sure.
But again, capitalism creeps in.
So, spoke a little bit about the early years. We spoke a little bit about your situation in high school. Did you go to college?
I went to IU and I dropped out, and then I went to IU again, and then I dropped out, and then I went to Ivy Tech, and now I'm at IUP. So, kind of lots of college-ish just experience. I failed out of every program just because of problems with my health, but I'm doing like an online general studies degree right now. And
okay.
I'm hoping to be done soon.
Awesome. We had spoke earlier in the apartment that you don't really sell your stuff. Is that something that you plan to do? Or do it as a little bit more of a full-time occupation or anything like that?
That's starting to change for me, because I used to think like, you know, if, you know, there's this conflict between like you're making stuff for someone or you're making stuff for yourself. But you can make stuff for yourself that people will still want to buy, and I've kind of found that place where people will, you know, hit me up on social media and be like, I like this, like, can I buy this or whatnot. So I'm kind of getting more and more requests for that and commissions and all kinds of exciting stuff, and I do like it. You know, it gives me a lot of hope that I might be able to like make a career out of it.
Awesome, and it's cool that you kind of get to stay to yourself. You know, stick to your true self when you're creating, and then get people who are interested in purchasing it.
Right, exactly.
Has that switch been made? You talked about now you're getting hope because of the things that have been happening that you might be able to pursue this. Has there been a decision made that you're going to do this, and when did that happen, or are you still on the edge of that?
I'm not like a big decision maker. I like worry a lot about the future. But I think in a dream world, in a world where I wasn't so hard on myself and I wasn't constantly thinking about, you know, my disability and money and whatnot, I would absolutely have already made that decision. But I'm just constantly fretting about all the tiny things and the social programming of you can't make it as an artist, or so few people make it as an artist, or my own programming if you're not good enough. But I'm slowly creeping towards, I see that decision coming up, and I'm excited to meet that.
So we spoke about your friends who encouraged you and kind of were working with you as you were becoming an artist, and encouraged you in that way. Did you have any influences? Like I noticed you do have a very unique, interesting style in your pieces, especially in your clay formations and stuff like that. What influences that? Like who or what?
Who or what? I think a lot of, I mean, I'm obviously very like intrigued by nature and the natural world. In terms of subject matter, I do a lot of like confluence of like art and nature and people, and that's kind of moving into like a gorier direction lately. But in terms of specific influences, Margaret Kilgallen, really great illustrator, sign painter. She just does a lot of street art, or she did a lot of street art. Egon Schiele is a big influence, kind of Vienna 1890s. Do you know who Gustav Klimt is?
No, I don't, unfortunately.
Yeah, sorry. But yeah, he's a contemporary of Klimt. Dave McKean, he's a modern day illustrator. He did the Sandman series and Coraline. Yeah.
What inspires you? Not necessarily the influence of what you do or how you create, but what inspires the art that comes out of you?
What inspires me to create, or what?
Yes.
Okay. Honestly, feeling bad, like feeling really bummed out a lot of the time, and like having like dreams that I've had. And a lot of my art like comes from a place of love. Like I do a lot of paintings of my friends, or things that, you know, my friends love, because I'm just, that community is so important to me. But I guess kind of what makes me like driven to create is like I wake up and I'm just like in fear every day, and I don't know how to, like, you've got to do something with all of that. So I normally wake up and like pull a sketchbook from the side of my bed and draw, and then get through it a little bit, and sometimes when I'm feeling really joyful and really happy, I draw. Like sometimes if I have like conflicted feelings about like a romantic partner, like I draw it out, you know. I kind of in terms of like big paintings, that's more of like, I think about that more aesthetically, of like, what do I want to show? Like, how do I want the colors to be? How do I want, or like sometimes I see an image, or like, you know, it's the golden hour with the storm right now, and like that lighting really like, just kind of all over things, but just the way, just emotion, like it's just a way of processing things that you like can't or aren't able to talk about like physically. Like not just like as people, like there are certain things you just can't talk about, and that's what kind of art is for me.
So what's the biggest piece of advice for those who want to get into art or do what you do?
Do what you love to do every damn day. Like, don't make excuses. Like, that's something that I've started doing recently, is like, and it doesn't matter if it looks good, it doesn't matter if it's up to your standards, it doesn't, you know, all that matters is that you're doing it. But like similarly, like if you hit a roadblock, let yourself rest. Like, don't force yourself to do something that you hate. If you're just like, oh, I don't know if I want to do my art today, you should do it. But if you're like in a lot of pain about it, it's like, I think one of the best things you can do is like drop it and pick up something else.
Right.
And like meet other artists. Like living here has been so incredible for me, because I've just met people who like think and emote, and like their mediums and their just everything that they do is just something I would never have expected.
Right.
And you just learn so much more, and you can talk to people about it, and yeah.
Okay, so last but not least, we're gonna go through a few more quick questions, okay? All right, what is your favorite word?
My favorite word? The French word for grapefruit. Does that count?
Sure, what is it?
It's pamplemousse.
Pamplemousse?
Pamplemousse.
I think that's my new favorite word.
It's pretty good.
What is your least favorite word?
No one likes moist. Yeah, no one likes moist. I was trying to think of a better one, but no one likes that.
Yeah, that's very true.
Queef is pretty bad too. I don't like that.
Yeah, no, me either. What turns you on creatively?
What turns me on? What makes me tick creatively? Like going out and being in nature. Like weather. Like weather changes when you're like forced to like feel a different mood.
Right.
And just moving my body around. Like sometimes I'll just like move my body in weird ways, and then I'll like think about the human body, and then I'm like, I've got to draw that way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You can find creativity anywhere.
Yeah.
What's your artistic kryptonite? What kind of is your creative buzzkill?
My creative buzzkill, or like the one thing that I can't do?
Just one thing.
Creative buzzkill?
Yeah, like you were saying before, what takes you off.
Like that? Exactly
Yeah.
that? A big buzzkill for me is when people act... Can I say that one?
Yeah.
Okay, because I think the phrasing...
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, because we changed it.
When people act like other artists act like they wrote the book on whatever their medium or their anything is, because I think it's all about being humble realizing you have more to learn constantly. Like in anything, it's continuing education. And it makes me mad when people are like, oh, well, I know everything about oil paints because da da da. And I'm just like, okay, but you don't.
Right.
And that makes you not good in my eyes.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah, if you're unwilling to share, you're unwilling to learn.
Yeah. And if you think of yourself as, a god or whatever, I hate that.
Right. Nope, I understand. Are there occasions where you lie?
I lie all the time, but it is only white lies. So like if I was talking to you and I was telling you a story about my cat, I would be like, it's my cat who is brown. Like I would just lie about the color of my cat.
Why is that?
I think it's fun to do, and I think it's fun because because I don't believe in lying. I think lying is very bad. I think you should be honest with people, but that's not really a lie.
Right.
It's just silliness, and it's always just trying to like slip it under the rug and be like, can I get away with that? They know my cat's not brown.
So you're just trying to get it out of your system. So
Yeah, I gotta get it out.
You don't have to do it legit.
Everyone's got little evils in them,
Okay, is there a sound or some sort of noise that you really enjoy?
I really like the sound of like an orchestra warming up.
Really? Like when they're tuning and like... Oh.
Yeah, that's like the greatest sound in the world to me. That's like, it's beginning.
Right on.
Yeah, I don't know.
I like what happens after that, but not so much the tuning up part.
Interesting.
Yeah. What do you hate? What sound do you hate?
It's a very specific sound, and it's my mom tapping her wedding ring. Yeah, it drives me nuts. And she does it, and she taps offbeat to everything. So, like, imagine you're like listening to like music, and she's just
Yeah,
over there
see,
tapping offbeat with the ring.
as a drummer, that would drive me insane.
Right.
So if you weren't doing what you do, what do you believe your profession would be?
I might probably be in some sort of educational field or massage therapy. There would be a lot of different things.
Think of it more like if you could do any job.
If I could do any job,
Any job. Other than what you do now.
I would do like equine massage. I think that would be so rewarding. I love horses. I told you I'm a horse girl.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. What job would you absolutely hate to do? Your least favorite job?
Least favorite job? I think I would hate to work the suicide hotline. That's kind of dark, but no one wants to do that.
Right.
Or
oh,
I
man.
can think of another one if that's...
No, that's good. If heaven exists, what will God say to you when you arrive?
Didn't think I'd see you here.
Thank you, Felicia, for coming up, and thanks for letting us check out your apartment. We really appreciated it. And everyone, you can find Felicia down below. Go ahead and go check out her social media. This has been Inside the Artist Studio Apartment. I'm your host, Dustin Weddle. See you next time.